It was kind of a funny story. I was actually taking the black and white NASCAT film class, and I was talking to the professor, and I had a Minolta film SLR. It was just a plastic autofocus. It was a good camera. I took some fantastic photos with it. But I looked at it and I said, this doesn't feel like a camera. It doesn't have, as a nice person would say, the walk and talk that a really good high precision machine should. So he goes, okay, what you do is you walk up to a little place on Hunter Street, get yourself a Pentax K1000. You beat the heck out of that thing. There's nothing I couldn't do to it that it couldn't take. Finished the black and white class, started the color class, needed to come and get another K1000, one to shoot color, one to shoot black and white. I ended up coming back so much, twice, 3 times a week, that David just looked at me one day and said, do you want a job? I said, yes, as a matter of fact, I would. And several years later, he decided it was time to enter semi-retirement and decided to sell me the business. Well, Camera Repair Center started in 1974. We've been here in this location since about 1979 or so. We do repairs on digital stuff, film cameras, lenses, flashes, tripods, a little bit of everything. When it comes to older film cameras like these guys, we actually have a huge backlog of parts that go way back to when this came out in 1976. Like we've got 3 or 4 Rubbermaid totes full of stuff like this. So it's these guys are almost infinitely recyclable just by the pure virtue that we've got all the parts, and there's so many of them out there. This was made in 1976, and to keep something going that's older than I am, it's a matter of professional pride, because I know what this is capable of, and I know that I can return this to almost factory condition, and it's really, really cool just to be able to do this kind of thing. And not only that, but just to keep photographers shooting. Because photographers are artists, they're capturing all the stuff around us, they're capturing fields and mountains and ocean landscapes, and they're capturing their kids and their parents and life events and all this stuff. And I feel really happy that I can keep that kind of thing going, because it's memories. I think I was contacted here about 2 years ago to get in on the very first Fix-it Fair, which was in the new library downtown, and I said, absolutely, I'd love to take part in it. I went there, made some fantastic contacts with people, and I said, this is something that we have to take part in, because it's part of what we do. We keep broken cameras out of the landfill by returning them to proper shape. Metric tons of bio waste can be created just by manufacturing one circuit board. So if I can keep that much stuff out of a landfill in, Japan or Thailand or Taiwan or China or wherever they happen to make the board, then I'm doing that much to save the environment. And if I do that 4 or 5 times a day, then it's that much better. It's just down to the environment. Every time you throw something out, you're just taking up a place in the natural environment that could be a pristine woodland. It could be a place that's actually removing pollution from the environment instead of actually being pollution in the environment. All the plastic that's on cameras these days, we say around here, we have a philosophy. We say that metal bends and plastic breaks. Metal, like if you bend the top cover on this, I can take the top cover off, I can get out a hammer and a piece of wood, and I can actually hammer that back into place. If this is plastic, it just goes in the garbage. There's no recycling of parts on these cameras, even though, yes, they are plastic. There's no method to do it. The infrastructure just isn't in place. These guys, it stays out of the landfill. It's the proper way to do it, in my opinion. It's cool to not only get people interested in photography, but remind them that there are more environmentally friendly ways of shooting that are a lot of fun.